being so close to that higher version. As we all hear, it only takes a choice. And what stops us is us. But in that stops us are the addictions, the traps and snares. But it's still us. We can't truly play the victim if we have to continually say yes and welcome those things. Keep choosing those things. But we know what we have to do. But we don't want to give up something. We don't want to give up a feeling, how it makes us feel. This may be the hardest test in your life because it is you. It's literally you versus you. Because all you have to say is no. Not to them, to you. When you start wanting and craving something, no. And you're going to have to continually say that to you. And it's different, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't seem normal. But you got to give yourself that dose of reality that who do you think you were to always be told yes? Like, I love you, and in that there is a lot of yeses, but who are you to think that everything is a yes? See, you don't know any better. I should, right? I should know better because I'm on the surface. I'm the one inviting these things in. Now they may be invading you, but I allowed it. I should know better. I should be taking control. Taking control to say no if it's something that's set out against you. Something that I know I'm seeing that it's destroying us. But I'm going to just, for the sake of my love for myself, continue saying yes. I'm an enemy to me. The soul doesn't know any better because truthfully, the soul should trust you. That you would never put us in harm, right? Because the soul is made to make sure that you know what's best for you, even if you don't want to listen to it. We should all be working as one, but that's not the case. Yes, the soul wants to feel great, wants to feel good, wants to feel loved and comforted. But why am I choosing things that only give it comfort temporarily? And is really entering my body to invade my body because that's what it was created to do. Deceptive. That I'm taking from the hands of an enemy. But to the soul, it thinks that I'm just comforting it until it starts to realize, why are we sleeping? Why are you forgetting? Why are you not talking to me? Why are you not seeing the things that I see? Why are you not searching within? because of my choices. There's a difference between holding yourself back and just waiting for the godly divine time and taking a step back, being patient. There's a difference. There's a difference between procrastinating and just um, letting God guide you in certain places and certain ways. There's a difference. But this right here is procrastination at its best. This right here is all up to us, and it was given that control. We were given it to control our own bodies, our own mouth. We've been given that will to control ourselves. God can intercede, just like if you give over your rights to someone, okay? They can now take control, but everyone is expecting for you to take control, to be in control, because those are your rights. You have rights over your own body. Why would you give your rights over? Just like when people give their rights over, they give their rights over their kids. They no longer have rights over their the individuals that they popped out. They give their rights because they don't no longer want ownership of those godly children. God's children. They no longer want rights over them. They no longer want rights over their body. They give it all to the person to own it. You can do that, right? But it still won't take away that you're responsible for your own self. If you were stuck in a world, and just disclaimer, well, not even a disclaimer, just the gag is I'm talking about you in this world. But if you were stuck in a world, and I say stuck, that's strong. Trapped, that's strong. If you were in a world where you couldn't leave and there were zombies, okay? What would you do? Like if I looked into the world and I seen you, what would I be seeing? What would I be hearing from that world? If you were in the world filled with zombies, you weren't a zombie though. What should I be expecting to see? Okay, there you go. Self-explanatory. Again, gag is we're talking about this world. We're talking about right now. Look around. You would be standing up for truth, change, right? Just like people every day do it for their own I don't know, deceptive ways. Like me standing up for change and truth is not selfish. Like I'm thinking of a collective. I'm thinking of the children. There's people that stand up for truth and their truth and their change for their own selfish gain. They don't think about anyone else. They say, If you don't think the way I do, you're canceled, you're fired, you're dead. That's what they say. That's what they do. I didn't say any of those things. I actually say I don't want to take your seat. I don't want your seat. I just want people to know the truth. I don't want they stinking seat. I want my own seat. You know how like, yeah, no. Like I don't want to be in the same house as them, the same, when things are passed down to them. I'm not here to take your seat or invade your home. I don't want to go in those places. I know, I've seen enough, I've heard enough, I know enough. I'm just trying to roar all the things that are in these places. That's what you would hear if someone was to look into the world. I'm just telling the truth about it. But someone over there is saying, and again, not that anyone has said these things to me, because, but I know how people are, right? And there's people that will say, why don't you speak about the good things in the world? Well, show me something good. If we're not all free, that ain't good enough for me. Like, if we're not all free, so I have to keep speaking of the injustice until we're all free. Do you understand it now? Do you understand the importance? If I just start speaking of all the good things, what happens to all the bad things that are still happening? Where is the light? Where they will be looking at it like, where'd the light go? When you shine a light on these things by speaking about it, by continually roaring on this, on these subjects, you're bringing attention. You're showing consistency. You're showing it so diligently. But to have to explain that to someone is crazy to me. Because, oh wait, I'm just supposed to speak about the good things of the world. I'll leave it to you, Susie. Carl, I'll leave it to you. Do you. Let me do me. Because that's questionable. I'm not worried. Don't be worried about what I'm doing. Don't try to change my trajectory, like what I choose to speak about. As long as it's for truth and justice, why is there an issue? Why? Do you. Leave me alone. I'm not harming nobody. I'm not trying to take no one's seat. I'm not trying to fire nobody. I don't have to do that physically. I don't have to leave my home. God is my avenger. So why, what's the issue really? So, like I say, don't step to me and you not know me. Get to know me. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Don't step to me and you don't know me. What you stepping to me for? You don't know. You would have thought someone stepping to you know you. No. You wouldn't be stepping to me if you really knew. If you really was on this side. You wouldn't be stepping to me because you wouldn't have an issue with it. That's what I mean. No one should have to break it down to this extent, extensively. No one should have to say, what if that was you? What if those shoes was on your feet? What if you was that child in that situation? No one should have to step down to that. No one should have to interpret it. But wait, there's such a thing of gift of interpretation for fools like you. Breaking it down and rehearsing it. to make you look like a fool, because you think that you just know. You just think that everyone is like gonna listen to you, and they do. But we got to break that glass. And by doing it, we interpret and depict and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and you feel it. Because they think that they got the last word. They're always trying to find something, trying to find how you say it, or one word that you messed up in. Listen, we probably will mess up. We probably will slip up and say a word. But is it about justice? Is it about truth? Is it about you? Then that's what the people should ultimately focus on, the truth of it. I may not be perfect in how my stance was. I may not be perfect in how my delivery was. Okay, so what? We can always work on that. But so what, though? That's the thing. They're always focused on those things and try to bring that to attention. Try to make that the focus. And how foolish could the people be to actually give that more energy than it has to be? Like, how foolish can the people be to see their ways? It's very unfortunate to bear witness to all of it, because it's just like, how hypocritical can you be? No one's delivery is just perfect. No one's tone is the way that you might expect it to be. But still listen. What are they saying? Is their heart in the right place? Are they standing for truth, change, real change as a collective, not for selfish gain? Are they looking out for the innocent of the world? Are they trying to protect them? Or are they trying to exploit and expose them? But you're worried about the tone. You're worried about the delivery. Are you serious? You're worried about skin color. You're worried about the gender of me. Seriously. You see, I don't have to deliberately ask you what team you're on. I know your allegiance. Even if you didn't know, look at the fruit that you produce. You cannot accept me. You are discerned. Listen, I don't want to hear. Take it up with God. Okay? I'm just here interpreting the verses because I can see, like, I have no choice but to see it. I've come into this world clearly as God's chosen, because that's what I clearly am coming to see, right? I didn't choose this, but I'm seeing that I'm not discerned, and I'm seeing that I'm coming with truth, and I'm seeing that you can accept me, that you're so fixated on my skin tone, that you're judging me for those things instead of the truth that's in me. You would choose to hate the truth. You would choose to hate my skin tone than to accept the truth that I'm producing. Accept the truth that I'm confessing. Accept the truth that I'm professing. You will focus on the gender of who I am on the surface than to focus on the truth. The truth. I have no choice. I have no choice but to say the Bible is true. I have no choice but to say the true Jesus Christ was true. I have no choice but to say that I'm a follower, that I know him. I understand him. I have no choice. Like it's written in the soul. I have no choice. Look at how you're treating someone that is speaking of that sort of truth. I have no choice but to say, oh, I guess I am quote unquote Christian, right? I'm not, but that's how people would see it without me having to say it. Oh, you must be this, you must be that. They will recognize you by your fruits. Just like I'm starting to have no choice but to recognize you without you having to say anything. I recognize you by your fruits. Why don't you not accept me? Why can't you receive the truth? because all they care about is everything that's vain, everything that's on the surface, their surface level. They they don't understand. They don't want to understand. They don't want to hear deep stuff. They don't. That's why you get all that. Why are you so serious? Why are you so deep? Right? And that's why the Bible says discern. But we know what discern means. We depict it. Why are you so serious? Why are you so tough? I'm not trying to be tough. I'm just being decent. I want to get to know you. Like, who are you? What's your first name? What's your real name? They laugh in your face. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm out of here, you know? These are not my people. Ooh, you know, you have no choice. You have no choice but to go back home and feel disappointed, feel irritated, cry. That should be expected, right? If God was looking in the world, he should be expecting this. Don't feel ashamed, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're wrong or you should change or something's wrong with you. Are you kidding me? That's why there needs to be more voices, you know? You're not alone. You never been crazy. Everyone can go crazy, but out of all people, you are not crazy. That is why I will work day and night to expose everything I remember. I will not hide. I never willingly was the type to hide, but I never tried to show myself. I never tried. I didn't have to. But now that I actually have the time and the place and the seat, well, I'm exactly who I always wanted to be. And that's just simply me. Without anyone trying to change those things, anyone trying to put a muzzle on me and destroy my spirit. You're not alone. And I know God says it all the time, but hear hear him in me. See him in me. Because I know sometimes it takes for you to see to believe. Okay? He knows that. I have nothing to show for it other than who I am. In other words, I don't have to do this, but I do it because it is the truth. That's what is the sanity in all of this. When all you want to do is sleep and all you want to do is eat and all you want to do is just go crazy. What keeps me coming to this revelation, coming to this testimony is because it's the truth and because I had to be a child without understanding, be a child and be alone, like, and think that you are, or feel that you are, but you're not, or be told that you're crazy, or to be told that you're weird, or to be told that you're mean, or too tough, or too serious, or to see that you are in an isolated place because you have to be. It's not easy. It's not easy to just fake it. It's not easy to just blend in. It's not easy to be like them. And instead of faking it, you chose your integrity. You chose your strength. You chose your authentic self. And that led you in a solid place. It led you to be a solid person. It led you in a quiet place. It led you here with me. It led you here with God. It led you here with us. And we are your people. I am your sister. I am your friend. And you see how this path is so narrow. You see how it's so hard, and you see why people wouldn't choose it. what keeps us here, blah 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 blah. But what keeps us here is the truth. Because like I say, I'm more than this, right? Like this is work. Yeah, truthfully, the truth is all of me, but like meaning I don't consider this work, but in your eyes, in the worldly eyes, yes, this is work. I would rather, of course, I'm more than that, right? Like I have a life. When I'm judging the world and I'm exposing it, and I'm also confessing and exposing myself, that takes a certain time. It takes a certain state of mind. But I'm still more than this. I'm more, meaning when you hear someone say I'm more than that, it just means that I have more. I have more than this to give the world. Like I would want to spread more joy and laughter. But that's not the time. I would love to be face to face with some of you, especially my children, and kiss those little hands and those little cheeks and those little feet and squeeze them. But that's not the time. What the world would consider my softer side. I love your softer side. Yeah, I'm sure. I love it too. I love all my sides. But yeah, it's true. Because those other sides give off more what the world would consider what endorphins, or there's no denying that, like the softer, lighter sides of you is life. Like it's like it's the positive, right? It's like the yin and yang in the most natural way. It's what yin and yang and the negative and the positive, it's where it came from. Meaning the negative was never just negative. It was just the stylic. It was just like the other half of it. You see how they would coexist, that they would always need to, or that you wouldn't want to do away with one without the other. They've made negative into the lowest thing, or they've made it seem that way, like, oh, we need to do away with negativity, or the other half of it, right? The dark part of it. Because truthfully, in these darker places, in a world that they created, there's abominable things happening, like very predatory things, of course. So they've made it into like darkness, negative, the lowest thing. But where I'm from, the yin and yang, the negative and the positive, the odd and even, like the two halves, were just the lighter side and the heavier side. Right? Emotions, the joy, happy vibration, and the frustrated, irritated, angry, mad vibration. The low and the high. The natural yin and yang. That's always going to exist because he made it so. But all these other things that you have chosen to be or do, abominable, like, listen, treat children and the things they do, and you call that negative, and you call that low, and you call that the other half like evil, yeah, that's just straight evil. That's why it's evil. That's evil works. It's not just the other side of someone. No, I can be very angry, but I'm not going to do that. If I do that, that means I'm operating in evil works. like lower than low. Yeah, so, you know, it's all work, you know? It's all work and it's time. It's a time for it. Just like then there's a time to get off, get off work. But this sort of place, you can't. You're always clocked in. But in this case, you're just not getting paid for it in this world. Like when you leave work and you clock out, you ain't clocked out, boo. You done just clocked in to God's. Now you in God's house. Amen. Yeah, Father. He said, yeah, go ahead and clock out because we ready for your shift. You know, we're waiting. You know, or school. You're still working. You're always still working. Before you even go to college here, you're in college here. There, you know, in the spiritual realms. It's like, okay, you've done your labor for the day. Now you have school. Spiritual school. Same thing. You never get a break. So yes, it is considered just work. But even like when I'm gonna be back home in my father's house, sort of thing, because that's all I will say for you to understand where I'm going. Because I can say, oh, I'm just going back home to my house, but people don't associate where he is in that way. So in my father's house, I'll be back home. And when I say the truth is all of me, I mean, like, yeah, I don't consider this to be hardship. I don't consider it to be work. Like when I clock out from work and then I come home and I sleep for a little bit and then I start speaking, I start working in the spirit, right? Speaking about the not so great things that this world is filled with. And it brings me down to a vibration or it makes me feel certain emotions. Yeah, that takes a lot of work, right? Energy. It does something to you. But what I'm saying is that the reason why I said it was all of me is because in this back home, my father's house, I love this. You know, like this is what I do. This is what I'm known as, like to be on a council with my father. That's it. Like, you know, it's not, oh, this is a princess, this is God's daughter, this is, you know, a soon to be queen type thing. That's not what I want people to see because that's not what we are really. You know, and this topic is very deep. So I want to take my time because there's so many things. The reason why I have to say this is because you don't know what a real princess is. You maybe have heard whispers of it, meaning in your soul and your spirit. And so since I actually am my father's daughter, I don't come with a title. I come with my spirit, I bear it. And then people will see this was God's daughter. This was a princess. So this is what princesses actually are like, or queens or kings. You find out after, right? Just like it's a humbling thing. We're not over here saying, oh, we're princesses. We're princesses. We're princesses and princess and princes, right? We're not kings and queens. Like we don't parade around like that. That's boastful, isn't it? Instead, you show people, you give them an example of what royalty is or what a noble man is. Because what is a prince really? Like that's a title, but again, you're given this title with a responsibility. That's the thing. Like I don't know if people are not telling you, but it comes with responsibility. Like the king, who are you the king of? The people, the world. So now you have this big responsibility to set an example. But you can't set an example if you're not an example. So people are crowned these things in this world, or anybody could be a prince or a lord now if someone just says they are, or they're just naming themselves as it, blase blah, a world full of nonsense. So that's what I mean. When you touch down on this world, it's just like so many different deceptions and illusions. But we get the message of what they do in their ways, right? Pretty much just say what they want to say when they want to say it, lie, cheat, just deceive. Things might not be what you think they are. Things might not look the way they're supposed to look. It's all those things. But, you wonder why. You just wonder why, and then you realize that's the revelation. You understand like why Father puts such people, put such a person, right? Puts his daughter or his son into the world in the leastest places. And then you put such a person, such a people, his daughter, his son, in such the highest seats and the highest positions. And they are, who they are. And then you allow the world to judge. You watch the world and you see how they what they choose. See what's in the hearts of the people. And that's why it always comes down to the people, right? Like if we were sent into the world, what were we sent into the world for? The people. If we were being in the world, who were going to be judged by? The people. And so you see how the world judges you, the people, right? And now we have no choice but to say, look what you've done to us. Look what you've done to the truth. It was you that did it. When we came here to be among you, came here to show you, but you still chose someone that is a false prophet. You still chose a magician rather than the actual source. You still chose. Like, I can't make this up. I don't know why. Again, I'm not like you. I don't want to be. But why? Why? That's what I'm saying. Why? Is it because jealousy? Because it does come down to that, You can still see that that's the truth, but you never choose that person because you're intimidated, because, you secretly despise them. You see? I know this, but I shouldn't have to tell you what you do. I shouldn't have to tell you what you know. It's just that you would never say it. And that's why the truth will set you free, because it's the truth. And you lie in deceit. You lie in death. That's what keeps you here. That's why people are sent here. And it's just unfair for the new generation. Every time in every generation, they're born into that sin. They're born with leaders that are deceptive. Right? And these leaders happen to be their mom, their dad, their cousin, their sister, their brother, their grandma, their friend, enemies. You see, adversaries, but with titles, entitlement, obligations, authoritative ways. Like, it blinds you. It sort of blinds things, makes things be swept under the rug. And that child has to grow into choosing what they'll align with, choosing to fight this war between their heart and their soul, between their mind and their, what they know and what they feel. Like, I could feel something toward you, but I know that what you're saying ain't right. I can respect you because of how I feel toward you. But I know that if I say what I'm about to say, it's gonna seem like disrespect. Because of how I know you're gonna take it. But I still have to stand for truth. I can't worry about the title that you hold over me. I can't worry about the age that you have over me. I can't worry about the gender that you have over me. I can't worry about your qualifications that you have over me. That all are significant here in the world, right? They mean something. That's the whole point of it. They all mean something, and they all do something to a person. They change a person's perspective. They